business meeting for Wednesday, July 17th, 2019. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Strange?
Present.
Councilman Livingston?
Present.
Councilwoman Cross? Present. Councilman Taylor?
Present.
Councilman Papastrap?
Present.
Councilman Massa?
Present.
President Stanley is absent due to the weather. He should be arriving shortly.
Okay, reports from approval of minutes from July 2nd, 2019. Councilman Strange.
Mr. President, motion to approve the business meeting minutes from July 2nd, 2019.
Give a second on the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, what's that? We have a second read legislation. That was you, Councilman Harris.
Public comment?
Yeah. What do you want? On to public comment. Please state your name, come up to the seat there, and sign in, please. Thank you. Please be respectful.
First in, first out. John Solak. Back to basics, like leaky roofs. I'm going to touch on a number of things. New York State law forbids fortune telling, tarot card reading, that type of stuff. Except for amusement only. City charter has a law on the same thing. Yet in the Perry building, Binghamton Psychic is operating. I don't understand why. They've been operating for months. Just like the massage parlors, nothing is done. Now, getting to Mr. Papastrat, and I know him, he's a nice guy and all that. School chumps. For you to take on Dan Livingston and say that you've got to be objective. Chris, to be honest with you, I'll give you my opinion. You're the least objective council person on this council. You've never taken a principled stand against the mayor. If so, let me know what it was in the last 8 years. So, I mean, it's no shock. You were out campaigning with the mayor, Conklin Fair. So that's your thing. You're going to do anything that the mayor tells you to do, and you're going to try to deliver this thing, this privatization scheme. So,
It's your opinion, Jack. You're entitled to it.
Yeah, well, that's what it is, Chris. I mean, I'm sorry to say it, And now, this council really, the last 4 years of this council has been a disaster in terms of doing something. Now, I know you're on the phone with your constituents. I know that. But if you look at the agenda, it's transferring money, switching money around, approving transfer payments. You're not taking any initiative to really change the city. I mean, back 10, 20 years ago, we had things on the agenda related to sex offenders. We had, some of it was ridiculous, some of it was sublime, but cat laws, the couch law, which passed, the cat law failed. People were $500 fine at Rec Park for littering. People were doing things. The council was actively engaged in trying to put forth legislation that bettered the quality of life in the city. And now it's doing nothing but pass-throughs and transfers, and it's really abhorrent. It's really abhorrent. Now, look, here's the difference between left and right on a local government issue. The people that are left of center view government as a community. They view government as a community, and they want community needs addressed, local solutions to local problems. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, what invariably happens in this city is that business people, so-called developers, who don't put a dime up of their own money, control this city. And 50 Front Street, you see that? They got a tax abatement, nice one. They don't have a dime of their own money, it's $3 million from the state. Well, guess what? It's being leaned. Contractors are leaning it. 2 more come in the last 30 days. There was no reason to believe this guy Newman, he's reverting to type. He built the town square mall in a floodplain, didn't pay nobody. Now, when contractors get stuck, labor ultimately somewhere along the line gets stuck. You sign these tax pilots for 15, 20, 30 years, and you don't do anything to police it. Now, I had the same message for the IDA. Now, on the Newman project that was sold to the investors in mainland China, I don't think this city needs its tax base shuffled around for the benefit of investors in mainland China. You know, fine, buy a building, pay the taxes. What the heck are you charging mom and pop businesses full taxation, and you're giving investors out of mainland China a pilot? You're letting them continue. This is absurd. I mean, you know. So look, the sewer plant, like I said, 1 minute. As I said for many years in this place, the sewer plant, I told you this, that if you endorse any kind of privatization, you are absolutely finished in politics in this city. And I believe that. Now, put it on the ballot. It's not too late. You can put it non-binding. It's just the city. And see how you make out. Because that's going to come. This thing has absolutely no support except for the mayor and the subcontractors that are raking the big dough. Everybody in this town supports the workers. Everybody in this town doesn't support privatization. So please, do what the people want. I don't care if you're ever in elected office again, but I dare you cross the public on this one, and as soon as those bills come in, forget about it.
My name is Kenny Greenman. I'm the Region 5 Region 5 President. I do not live in Broome County, and I ask the board for permission to
We
address.
will have to motion to suspend the rules. Second.
Rules are suspended. Welcome.
Thank you. As the head of the union representing 28 treatment plant workers, in addition to more than 45,000 workers who live and work in central New York, I'm here once again to share our union's frustration over the lack of political leadership regarding the important community issue on whether or not to privatize this facility. Over the past few weeks, the city and the mayor have been focused on discrediting the plant staff for posting their concerns with the ongoing construction project. Their concerns are legitimate and should be treated that way, not just thrown aside and called a misrepresentation. They are calling out the issues with construction because they care about the plant and they care about the ratepayers. They understand that the construction problems with the original design cause long-term consequences. For that reason, they feel that the city council should be paying more attention to that aspect of this whole issue, especially considering that the two of the main contractors in the plant's construction are bidding to take over the management and the operation of the facility. This is the context that explains why certain posts were shared online. I'm glad plant staff will have an opportunity to address their concerns during the next work session, but I ask that you try and understand where their concerns stem from. I want you to know that the plant's workers are not our only concern with the proposed privatization. CSEA represents over 3,000 public and private sector workers in Broome County. The vast majority live in the municipalities served by the Binghamton sewage treatment plant, and they all could be impacted by potential sewage rate increases. How will ratepayers be able to afford a substantial increase in rates? This is a very important question that the city and the city council have yet to address to the public. What is the individual cost of a $270 million project? The plan can't simply be to privatize the operations of the plant and hope for the best. What is the answer, and why is no one talking, and why is no one asking the question? The city comptroller and the representatives of the mayor's office attended every work session, and not once has the question arose over the last few months. At the end of the day, this all comes back to the city's rush to privatize the management and operation of the facility. That's the decision that will be in your hands. Everything else is really just extra. I understand the responsibility placed on the city council's shoulders. Do you all think that it is fiscally responsible to hand over your sewage treatment operations to a private entity before the construction process is even complete? On its face, it does not make sense. Through an oral report, the decision was made that the plant staff cannot manage the facility as effectively as a private operator could. How accurate can this be? The city essentially paid for a study to produce a preferred outcome, but without a factual report backing up that. How are you all able to understand the supposed necessity behind private management? How are you to compare what the plant staff is capable of and what a private entity are capable of? I really hope that you are all trying to get the facts behind that report. Plant staff and management have testified over and over and over again that they can do it. And the way that I see it, you have an obligation to the ratepayers and to the workers alike to give our current plant workers the opportunity to prove themselves again. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.
Can you write down the name? Can you write down the name? Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
My name is Marilyn Hall, and I live on the west side, and I'm here to request that City Council rescinds the special use permit granted to Base Troy. I have here a blow-up of just the bottom of the contract that states that the facility shall meet all federal air quality standards. That's not a standard. And that lint shall not be discharged from the site. The second thing is hours of operation shall be limited between 6 a.m. and midnight. It often runs till 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. And that's Monday through Friday. And they're not supposed to start till 6 a.m. And they often start at 4:30. Try sleeping. I will say that they're allowed to operate from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturday, but they usually close around noon. So,
We want to know what's the time that they could run there?
Can you leave that with us? And
Yes.
what we'll do is give it to Corporation Council and maybe we'll take it over to code.
Has anyone
We can follow it up. Has anyone what?
contacted the agents or the management?
I talked to the manager the other day, and like I'm some kind of fool, got told that the guy that's normally in charge, because it ran all night, Friday night, all Friday night, never stopped. And I got told that the man that's in charge was out of town and somebody else was in charge and forgot to turn it off. I said, well, you know, that was the only time I know of it running all night. I'm talking about the earliest it ever shuts off is after 1. And it always starts around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
So you finish late and start early.
Yeah. So they have obviously not been following the agreement, and I think it should be rescinded. And I think there ought to be fines, especially with the lint. I mean, I live over on Clark Street, and I'm finding lint in my backyard. And my neighbor's finding lint on her screen windows.
And plus, I can't go to sleep. At 1 o'clock, I'm going to bed, and I hear the sound, and it's grinding all night long. And that's not fair.
It's not getting any better, it's getting worse.
That is, you're right, it's not right.
We'll definitely
You will definitely look into this, and would you leave your name and phone number with our city clerk here? And if you write that down, that would be great, and we'll make sure we get in touch with you.
Thank you, and please do something about it.
And I have filed 2 reports with the EPA also against them. The only thing is I listed it as air pollution and land pollution, and I didn't even think about the fact that when it rains, guess where all that stuff goes? Into the water. So I might have to just alter, file a.
Can we have that lady's name and phone number also?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry about the tight chambers. We had a little
Can you
flood
write
in
her
the
address
city
down,
council
sister?
chambers.
Yeah.
We don't complain unless something is really wrong. We're not always complaining about it. But when they had fried chicken, we had problems with Kennedy. It took 5 years for the city to do something about it. And meantime, I was having a nervous breakdown with miserable people.
Linda, want to put your phone number down?
driving on the front of the house and put the music on all night long. 4 o'clock in the morning, I was up on the street at 4 o'clock, and it took 5 years before, thank God, now is at peace. And this one, now, we gotta fix this one too.
You are very fast.
I put your name, put your phone number here.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Do you have an extra or is that?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
some plenty. Surprisingly. Alright, my name is Adam O'Feefy. I've worked at the wastewater treatment plant for almost 10 years now. I was actually a big topic of Monday's meeting. And I just wanted to defend myself on my Facebook post. I was told at that meeting that some of these pictures could have been over a year old. And unfortunately at the time, I didn't have a way of timestamping my photos. That's since been corrected since Monday. So everything will be timestamped from now on. If you take a look at the first page, you can see my original Facebook post. And then in the preceding pages, you'll see my Facebook post, along with the details from my phone, when that picture was taken, the location of the picture, when it was taken. And you can see they were all done 2.5 weeks ago. So the allegation that it was taken over a year ago and I'm trying to be misleading or deceptive is definitely false. The first picture on the front page is the light that was leaking. That was taken on June 30th at 11:15 a.m. The second picture, the second one was the video also. That was of the hole in the wall. That was taken on the 30th at 11:12 a.m. The picture, which was missing some of the conduit, that was pointed out at Monday's meeting, that picture was taken on June 29th at 1:24 p.m. The picture behind this is the only one I don't have the exact details on. The picture that was behind the water tank, that picture was created on 6/20/2019 at 5:25 p.m. And then the picture of the wall falling, I actually found that in an article doing a Google search. As you can see on the back page, I now have the timestamp thing corrected. This picture was taken this morning, or I'm sorry, this afternoon at 1 o'clock. It's obvious that the left control is mounted upside down. These controls are currently being used in a explosion-proof building. It's considered Class 1, Division 1. I wish I had the second picture on there. I actually put it in, I planned to put it on here and I just ran out of time. But on the bottom of this is actually 2 plastic covers, which is a code violation. This building is being put together in such haste that there's so many mistakes being found. We found a pipe today. We're supposed to start feeding the digesters either Friday or Monday. We found a pipe today that if we proceeded to do that, our basement would be filled with sludge. The pipe comes around, instead of going into the digester, it goes straight through the floor and right onto the ground. And I have pictures of that too. I can show you guys on my phone. I just didn't have time to put them on here. And also the last picture is the same picture as, there's the same location, I'm sorry, as the, it's going to be the fourth picture. Those 2 blue boxes, the 3 blue boxes on the wall. You can see that's still getting wet, and that is as of yesterday at 4:34 p.m. So if that passed the leak test back in January, it's either refailing or it never really passed the leak test. I'm not trying to do this to be, I'm not trying to be shady. I'm trying to let everybody know what's going on. We've tried talking about it before. We told people about the wall failing. We told people about leaks. We said, oh, we're engineers. It's fine. Structurally, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Then the wall fell. If the wall fell 2 days prior, we would have had a gentleman right here, was mowing the grass out there 2 days prior to that wall collapsing. He would have been underneath all that. So that's why we're hesitant. That's why this spray foam that we're stuffing into the walls, it's not structural. I can give you guys printouts on that if you would like, on what they're using. It's for stopping leaks. It actually says right in the container, stop leak foam. That's all it's doing. It's not binding the concrete. At one point, that building, we were told, was unsafe for a center. Now, all of a sudden, a little bit of foam and we're good to go. That's pretty much all I got today. Just please, I'm not trying to be deceitful. I'm not trying to.
I understand. I believe in 2 weeks at a work session, we are gonna have Jacobs and somebody from.
I believe that might be me.
It might be you?
Yes, sir.
That would be, and now we can all get together and really see what's happening up and down. Hash it out, really.
Can't wait. Hope it is good.
Also.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for your time.
Next speaker, please.
And I'm Mulkey, I live on South Binghamton. I have 3 issues at the present time with the city. First is the water treatment plant. I do not want it privatized. The residents have paid for this facility twice now due to poor workmanship in the first and now the second construction. I expect a written inspection report available to all the residents who have paid for this. You should make it available online so we all can see. I do agree management of the facility needs to be replaced, but not by a private company that just wants to make a profit and walk away when there is a problem. Also, when a company does not fulfill the contract on time, they should be penalized. The second issue I have is with the police department. They should start enforcing all the laws, not just pick and choose. Examples are jaywalking, parking in all areas, not just downtown, noise ordinance, and littering. Binghamton is a mess. The last complaint I have is with code enforcement. They should be proactive and start issuing tickets and warnings when there's something wrong. And the property owners should be fined when they don't comply in a reasonable time frame, depending on the issue. I used to be very proud to live here. Sadly, I'm not anymore.
Thank you very much. And I have issues too with code enforcement, but it takes up to 10 days before they can even issue a
Why aren't they
fine.
driving around and inspecting things?
I see them around, but I don't know if they are inspecting. I
Things go in
really,
the court, and then they can get caught up there for like months in court before they even.
I don't care.
They countersue. The owners will countersue it, and the city's not able to.
It used to be they gave you a summons, because I got one when I first moved in my house 38 years ago. I had 72 hours to fix the problem, or I would be issued a ticket.
I'm
And
not
go to
sure how
court.
laws have
So,
changed.
courts don't work like that anymore.
Well, they should go back to when they did.
Yeah, that would be for the courts.
And the police picking and choosing who gets a ticket and who doesn't, and how many warnings some of these people get. Well, we give them a warning. You give the same person 20 warnings, it should be 1 warning, a ticket, or jail. I don't care anymore. It's just, they try to be nice, that's fine. Be nice the first time. And everyone has a computer system, so if one cop comes one time, the next cop should be able to go on the computers in the car and figure out, this is an ongoing problem, they've been warned numerous times, issue them a ticket and get it over with. We're putting up with so much, nothing's getting done.
A lot of times the police, their hands are tied too, and they have to
That's
be very
bull.
cautious. I wish it was full, but it's really not at times. And they're,
I'm sorry, but if someone keeps having parties over and over
I
again,
agree with that, because I've
They
done the
should
same
get it-
thing, I've called the police every time something's happened.
yes.
And then
And me and all my neighbors, we have a problem
on the south
out
side.
on Euclid. We have a problem on the house, on, the problem's gone now because fortunately those people were evicted. But every Friday and Saturday night for 6 weeks, 3:15 to 7:30 a.m., they came, they had a party, woke the whole neighborhood up. Police were out probably 4 to 5 times in that 4-hour time frame. Not once did they get a ticket.
3:15 in the morning, you said?
It would start.
Yeah. And you know what that was? That was an after hours party.
I know exactly what it was. I think he's on the east side now.
We had a problem like that on Clinton Street. It literally took almost a year to be able to get arrested publicly.
Well, it shouldn't take that long.
Which
We have ordinances on the book
they should enforce them. Plain and simple. We have a noise ordinance. I didn't bring it with me, I can read it to you. This is ridiculous. No one's enforcing what's already on the books. That's the problem. And the treatment plant, well, I could go on and on about it, but I'm not paying. I don't want to have to pay for some company to come in, have this one collapse, and now we're stuck with the bill again. They want to run it for us? Good, they can buy it and they can pay the $270 billion for it.
Diana, could you write down your name and your last name, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Two more. There's one other person behind. Oh, sorry. Three more. Probably four.
Next speaker, please.
You go.
Hello. All right, my name is Brian Swan. I live on the south side of Binghamton, McNamara Ave, as a matter of fact. I'd like to talk about a project we just finished up and some observations in the sewage plant. The job is, I think basically it was forgotten about by either engineering or the contractors, so we ended up pulling out 50, 60-year-old 200-pound plug valves, 4 of them. So there's one here, one there, and then one up by the ceiling. And also some flex connectors. And we also replaced some half-inch sample lines. Basically, that's for operations to draw samples out of the digester. Now, there's a couple of observations that I had on that, and the first is housekeeping. There was a few months where we weren't even really in this building because there was different contractors, electricians, plumbers, pipe fitters, laborers, whatever, doing what they, I guess, need to do. The pipes, all different size. There's garbage everywhere. There's conduit, pipe pieces, there's old gloves, there's bottles, there's just dirt all over the place. Now, I've taken pictures of this. I haven't put any online. I'm not really necessarily planning on doing that, but if anybody wants to see these pictures, I'll show them to you. In fact, housekeeping has been an issue that we're seeing, and it's, who knows where it's coming from, because like I said, there's so many different contractors in this building. I don't know who to blame, but I know who's overseeing the project. Okay? And also, throughout the plant, we're seeing this. Rebar laying around, more pieces of pipe, ductile pipe. It's really a mess. And, you know, I understand it's a construction area, and there's a small area, and things have to be here and there and there. But, I mean, this is garbage we're talking about laying around, so that we have to kind of deal with. Now, the second observation, by the way, we got that job done. It came out good. The plug valves were, like I said, one of them said 1959 on it, so we know what we're dealing with age-wise. It was a real pain, but we got it. We're more than happy to do stuff like that. Second observation, I noticed 2 individuals walking around the digester while another gentleman was working with me, and Marty, and they were walking around assessing things, and one had a CH2M vest on. Now, why would that be? It's a very sensitive subject, okay? We're, you know, why did he have to wear that vest? Why couldn't he have brought, I'm sure Jacobs has a whole plethora of vests that he could have taken. But instead, for a few days while we're working, you have a guy walking around with a shirt that is the company that is looking to maybe take our jobs, maybe, you know, raise the rates of the payers, the ratepayers. So where do we draw the line as far as a bidder being on the premises observing our equipment is concerned? Is it a line, or like is it a gray area? Do the other 2 bidders know about this? And do you think they care? They just might. And I don't know, is it a conflict of interest? And it seems to me Jacobs obviously is bringing these people on site. So yes, it is a very big company. And they acquired CH2M. But it seems to me that something is wrong here when it seems to be a conflict of interest. And I don't know, that's all I have to say. And I want to thank everyone for listening to us, because I know sometimes that might get a little redundant, but I mean, we're all really, really dedicated, you know. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
How you doing? Zach and Kate. I live on Circuit Street, South Side. I work at the wastewater treatment plant. The issue, just want to bring it up. This is for, I'm not sure when the specific date was. It was a work session meeting. I believe his name was Bruce Toby, was talking to the city council about having a SWAT team here. On June 29th, we had our first rain event with the new process of fine screen systems being online. Two out of the three fine screens were available. My coworker called me at 3:30. I could hear the audible alarm in the background. Once I was there, it took me about 2 minutes to get over there. Once I was there and assessed the situation, both fine screens were blinded or plugged. They faulted in the off position. I bypassed the HMI panel. I put both fine screens in hand, and I opened up the bypass valves, which were being overflowed at the time because the flow increased. Within about 5 minutes, we had the rain event. I was able, since the flow had increased and overflowing the bypass gates, we did this in about 10 minutes. We were able to handle a brand new process with only an hour and a half classroom training time, and we didn't have a physical walkthrough of the new process that was put online 3 days beforehand. Each of these, there's 3 channels, only 2 of them were available. Each channel is supposed to be able to handle 30 million gallons. The flow increased to 35 million gallons within about 15 minutes of when we had the rain event. Like I said, both channels, I got them both online, and I had to open up a bypass channel just to handle 35 million gallons. If we weren't there and didn't act accordingly, we would have had a major permit violation. This event happened during a 7-day functional test by PC Construction. PC Construction now has an issue, which I just found out it was resolved today. But since the 29th till up to today, the fine screens have pressure spray nozzles to clean said fine screens. They had a pressure problem. I'm not sure, given the days, it's what, been 2.5 weeks? The pressure is supposed to be at 80 psi. It was at 40 psi. So they had a person there from PC on site 24 hours a day, cleaning said fine screens every 2 hours. That's all I have. I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Gary Edwards, 13 Iron Drive. I work at the treatment plant too. I just wanted to bring up old news that we all have heard. 2011, we had the wall collapse. We all know about that. As far as I know, there was nothing on social media about that. We had a chlorine tank that leaked. filled the containment pit, so we're talking probably a couple thousand gallons of chlorine that came out of the containment, or yeah, the actual chemical tanks. There was no social media about that, as far as I know. We're talking 2 years ago, I think, on the chemical tanks. We brought all these issues up to our management, which in turn came to the boards, to city council. Nothing was done, nothing was said. We tried to raise the flags of concern to everybody, to let them know these things are happening, and we were just blown off like we were nobody. We were not professionals. The professionals had it all under control. If they would have listened, I'm going to guess that maybe we wouldn't have been putting $300 million into this new plant. Maybe we could have saved the process. It's kind of frustrating that nobody will believe us. We're just shrugged off as wastewater workers, or maybe not even that. Now we're posting stuff on social media. I'm one of the people that do it. Because now I feel, at least if you guys don't listen, the public knows. The 20-inch valves that are backwards, upside down, inside out, however they are, that were supposedly installed correctly, now are getting fixed. Would they have gotten fixed if we didn't put them on social media and raise the red flag and let everybody know that they were wrong? I'm going to assume not, and we'd be in the same situation we were in 2011 with another catastrophic failure. The light fixture that has the running water running through it. To me, that seems like common sense. That if somebody would have seen water, they would not have installed it. But they installed it anyways. Who's watching these people? Who's letting them put, I don't know how much a light fixture is. I know one in my house is $100, so I'm assuming one down there is probably hundreds of dollars. But they just let them do it. What if we didn't catch that? Would they just be putting the change order in because they were rushing to get everything done and we'd be paying for another light fixture? The blue control panels that are still getting water on. What's going to happen there if we didn't take pictures and say there's water on? They're going to clean them the day before people go through to inspect it and be like, oh, all good, yours, goodbye, because that's what happens. We are professional people. We've passed all of our tests. We've worked there for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, most of us. We've seen it. We've done it. We know what's going on. I don't understand what another company is going to bring to the table except for siphon more money out of this town.
Thank you very much.
My name is Brian Rebecca. I work at the Binghamton City Wastewater Plant. According to a radio show that Mayor David was on, the Bob Joseph show, he stated that the plant was 92% complete. We had a problem in the bar screen, which goes back to the other gentleman's concern about housekeeping, which we picked up a 6-foot piece of rebar with a concrete block on the end of it out of the flow, which is through Howard big pipe, 36-inch pipe. The bar screen takes up the solid out of the flow before it's deposited into the wet well and goes through the rest of the process of the plant. Of course, I didn't follow my script. We went to put the bar screen back into remote mode so the SCADA system can monitor the flow and monitor the bar screen, but we were told we cannot do that yet because the new SCADA system is not up and running yet. But yet we are 92% complete. There's a lot of processes that need to run a treatment plant: BAF, biological air filtration, denitrification, active flow, solids handling building, methanol, ultraviolet light, digester, lab, and chemical storage. All these places are not even online, not even close to being done, but yet we're 90% complete. Tanks 7 through 10, they're not even online. Tanks 1 through 6 need to be rebuilt. What about all these processes? Where does the mayor get his information from? Is it the numbers he came up with? Is it from Jacobs? Or maybe it was a verbal report from Bruce Toby? Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Howard Reed, and I have had the privilege of being the facilities engineer at your wastewater plant for over the last 5 years. And I'm just here today to shine a light on the efforts of your staff and give you an idea of what they do. Quickly here, before we get started on that, 2006, Sewer Board paid Black and Beach engineers for a comprehensive facility plan which detailed the state of asset management and prioritize capital improvement needs. The goal being to shift organizational readiness from reactive to proactive, given limited resources. Chief among those findings, published 2 years later, were the need for supervisory control and data acquisition, that's SCADA, and a computerized maintenance management system, that's CMMS. So my first task working for the board was to research and purchase said CMMS program. We're currently in the middle of our second 3-year agreement with E-Maintenance Systems. It's one of the top-rated CMMS software providers in the world. They were recently acquired by Fluke, who, if anyone knows, they're the Cadillac of measurement and instrumentation, so that will only expand our monitoring and tracking abilities. So despite what Bruce Toby might have told you, your assets are well protected. Thank him for his concern. The SCADA system that was prescribed in the Black and Beach report was designed and built in-house by our electrical department at a huge savings to the ratepayers. That SCADA system is the SCADA system that all this new equipment will communicate through. This rebuild is neither state-of-the-art nor automatic without that SCADA system. Similar to the Black and Beach report, our staff conducted its own study for the rehabilitation project to identify single points of failure that needed protection for the duration of construction. Major maintenance was performed on fading equipment, spares were purchased to provide uninterrupted operation of critical systems. Special consideration was taken when deciding whether to invest in equipment that was scheduled to be replaced in the upcoming rehabilitation. Ultimately, some equipment would have to be hand carried across the finish line, and it was plant staff that would need to do that heavy lifting. And I'll give you a quick example. The mechanical department developed the sleeve coupling for our failing elevated conveyor that delivers sludge to our dump trucks. There's one of these conveyors on site, and without it, not go through sludge. The cost of the repair, quoted by the original equipment manufacturer, to be over $80,000. Instead, our staff developed a fix for a few $100s that would require weekly inspections and adjustments. That fix is still in place to this day, twice as long as we were told it was meant to be. Since I have now lauded the electrical and mechanical departments, I'll lay some praise on operations too. HVAC is an ongoing process throughout the plant, and I understand that interruptions must happen to make all the necessary connections. Ideally, there are operations assistant requests issued 10 days prior to interruptions to allow the plant to review the plan, make comments, and prepare alternate procedures. This doesn't always happen. This did not happen when ventilation for our centrifuge centrate stacks was removed and capped off. We now have near constant hydrogen sulfide alarms for our gas detection system while filtering, and our operators must wear personal monitors in that area. Additionally, we open both garage doors and run 2 barn fans while filtering them. So if there are odor complaints from local community, I apologize. But this is our only option right now to protect employees from deadly gas. And yet they do it. And they've been doing it for over 2 months now. And that is who you guys have working for you at the wastewater plant. Imagine I have a little bit of time. I've got a...
You have 1 minute, yes.
Great. I'll give you a little vocab word that you guys might not be familiar with. It's rag up. Okay? These guys know. Rag up is what happens when you've got a gate valve that's 60 years old that doesn't hold water back. But luckily, the ratepayers send us tampons and toilet paper, which will plug that hole eventually. Then we can pump out what little running water is left and work in a couple inches of running sewage to do the job that we have to do. That's what they've been doing. Some of this equipment is 60 years old. We've done the best we could. If these guys operate it like homeowners, you know, we don't go to the original manufacturers and spend the $80,000 if not needed. You know, we make the repairs ourselves. We make it happen. And you guys should be proud to have them working for you. I know I've been thoroughly impressed with all the departments.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Marty Hutchins. I work at the sewage treatment plant, live 640 Street, Binghamton here. I don't know, I'm not a public speaker, so I'm nervous as hell. But anyway, this when that came up about, I worked construction before I came to the sewage treatment plant in 07. I worked 24 years in labor union before that, probably on over 50 jobs. And I got to say, not just because I'm working there and I'm an employee, but it is one of the messiest jobs I've heard of. And I don't know, nobody thinks, maybe not enough laborers here behind them picking up or something. I don't know, you know. A lot of the work, you know, they're doing what they're told. You know, you can't blame the labor, you can't blame the workers. It's who's running the job, who's overseeing the job. I worked with Falter on the job. The OBAF. It was a lot cleaner. Everything was neat. We didn't use any special foam on any leaks, not that I was aware of, and a lot more. They had the different ways of doing it, stopping water stopping. But anyway, okay. So what can I say that hasn't been said? Not much. You're all intelligent people. Obviously, that's why you're all sitting here. And have good common sense and a better judgment than most. So it should be easy to see that privatize is not the right choice. I'm sure you will make the right decision. And that's about it. We got this, we can handle this. Thank you.
Next speaker, please. Seeing none? We have.
My name is Stephanie Reed, and I live in Conklin, New York. I just want to voice my, am I free to speak? Okay. Voice my opposition to the privatization. I'm an HR professional in the area, and honestly, I find it repulsive what you did to this workforce. They have spent years and years, some of them decades working there. Most of them years trying to get this plant up and operational to be working for all of us. And you took the rug out from under them. This should be a time when they're excited. They're all newly trained, freshly trained, and ready to go in a new plant. And now, instead of taking that energy and excitement and going forward, they're here fighting for their jobs, which I think is disgusting. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Any other speakers? Seeing none, we move on to our second big legislation. And that would be ordinance 19-72. Councilman Paxton.
Care for me to stand?
It's up to you. You must stand, Jen, you don't.
I'd like to introduce a motion to reconsider permanent ordinance 0919-72. This is an ordinance to amend the 2019 finance budget to relocate funds, reduce salaries, defund the title of finance payroll specialist, and add payroll assistant, and to fund temporary services.
All in favor?
Anybody wishing to speak on this? Oh. Anyone, all in favor?
Aye. So motion to reconsider permanent ordinance 019-72 adopted on July 2nd, 2019.
All in favor?
Aye. Number 2, we have a motion to amend section 3 of permanent ordinance 019-72 to change the start date of the payroll assistant from July 29th, 2019 to July 22nd, 2019. Increase the transfer to budget line A1310.5100, that is reserve payroll assistant, from $14,807.70 to $15,480.70. And to decrease the transfer to budget line A1990.55000, which is contingency, from $5,768.23 to $5,095.23.
Second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Scarnett?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Capster?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
President Scanlon is absent at 6 ayes, 1 absent Scanlon.
Number 3 is a motion to approve permanent ordinance 019-72 as amended.
Second. Roll call on that, please.
Councilman Scarnett?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross?
Aye.
Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Capster?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
President Scanlon is absent, so 6 ayes, 1 absent Scanlon.
Okay, on to our first read legislation, our non-preferred agenda. Introductory ordinance 1974. That would be Councilman Capster.
1974.
That's all we're good.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask for unanimous approval of introductory ordinance 019-74.
Second.
This is an ordinance to amend the 2019 capital budget to purchase a Spartan pumper vehicle for the fire department.
Comments or questions on that? Councilman Scarnett?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, this is a piece of legislation that's been a long time coming. Many of the fire trucks and some of the equipment that the fire department has is either reaching its normal use life or at a position where it's reaching its shelf life. So this is something that's been much long coming their way, and I hope everyone will support it.
Any other comments or questions?
All the questions, President?
Questions been called?
Councilman Scarnett?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross?
Aye.
Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Capster?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
That is 6 ayes, 1 absent Scanlon.
Introductory ordinance 1976, considered in finance, Councilman Capster. Oh, 75.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask consideration for introductory ordinance 019-75.
Second.
This is an ordinance amending the 2019 capital budget to close grants that are no longer active.
Comments or questions on this? Councilman Stern?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We have a number of grants that we receive that we apply for. Sometimes they see their fruition through to the last cent, sometimes they don't. So this is just cleaning up those budget lines. And for our residents who are here and watching at home, The piece of second read legislation that we passed earlier was due to a retirement and a decrease in the salary for a new position.
Thank you. Councilman, any other comment?
Call the questions.
Questions been called?
Councilman Sturgis?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Papstrap?
Aye.
Councilman Mata?
Aye.
With 6 ayes, 1 absence.
Great. Ordinance 19-76, which is the finance. Councilman Papstrap.
We'll be meeting. And Mr. President, I'd like to ask for unanimous consideration of ordinance 19-76.
Second.
This is an ordinance amending the 2019 SOAR budget to fund a labor position.
Comments or questions? Councilman Sturgis.
Just an amendment to a budget line for an extra position. Thank you.
Call the question, Mr. President. Question has been called.
Councilman Sturgis?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Papstrap?
Aye.
Councilman Mata?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absence.
Thank you. On to 1976. That would be you, Councilman Papstrap.
If you don't mind, I'll stay for this.
All right. You get tired up and down? Like an elevator?
I'll be Jack.
Order?
Introductory ordinance 019-77. This is an ordinance to amend the 2019 fire department budget to increase overtime expenditures.
Sorry.
What?
No, you're right. Comment or question? Oh, Councilman Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a couple comments on this. This is the third time that we've had to approve a transfer regarding overtime to the fire department. Every transfer, including this one, has been wholly necessary. To give some background, there are a number of unexpected absences currently from the department. 3 unexpected folks that are reservists are now overseas. Unexpected injuries and medical conditions, as well as a few other things. It's really sort of a perfect storm for our fire department. And I think, if memory serves me correct, we decreased this budget line in last year's budget talks for this year's budget. So we're gonna probably need to do a 4th, maybe even 5th transfer on this if things continue the way they have been. Luckily, there are 7 new recruits that are graduating, I think, this Friday. That's going to help a lot. But folks should probably assume to see another transfer or 2 in this overtime line. We're going to address this for next year in the budget talks in September. But we need to have, I think, a greater conversation on this topic, and I think that conversation is probably going to loop into the fire study that's currently being conducted, and we'll talk more about that.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cross.
Mine is about the concern for our firemen, since we have so many of them working like overtime. They're very tired, and it's a dangerous job to begin with. So I'm definitely excited to have the new recruits come in. Hopefully we can lower the amount of overtime they have, and we can not have to increase overtime again. That's all. I just want to make sure that our firemen know that we're worried about them.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other questions? Councilman Sturgis.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, I definitely concur with Councilwoman Taylor and Councilwoman Cross. I think it's just important to note that, again, from the perspective of the budget, as it related to this last year, our 3 firefighters who are out on reserve right now, that actually wasn't an issue that was current at that time. So there were a number of impact factors that reasonably led us to believe that there could be a lowering of that. But absolutely, this ties into the fire study, and it'll be great to see these new recruits come and kind of take some of the effort off of the current fireworks.
Thank you, Councilman. Any other comments, questions? Call the questions. Questions been called.
Councilman Sturgis?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Papstrap?
Aye.
Councilman Mata?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absence.
Great. On to Ordinance 1978, again, Councilman Pastor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask for unanimous consideration of ordinance 19-78.
Second.
This is an ordinance to amend the 2019 Police Department budget to transfer funds from vacant positions for police and fire vehicles, probationary officers, and compensated absences.
Thank you. Questions or comments on this? Councilman Sven.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is again, no actual financial increase here or burden on the city. This is just taking budgeted lines where that are currently vacant and moving those for the purchase of fire and police vehicles.
Thank you, Councilman. On to
Mr. President.
Yep. Questions been called.
Councilman Scarnati?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Patrick?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absence.
On to introductory resolution 1955, considering finance. Councilman Pastor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to ask for unanimous consideration of resolution 19-55.
Second.
This is a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit a grant application to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Climate Smart Communities Grant Program for the Waller Street Pump Station project.
Questions or comments on this?
Call the question?
I know President Scanlon wasn't here due to a home issue. Yeah, this is a really good deal for an opportunity for us to expand the outreach that we've already done with a number of our water pump stations across the city. And the possibility of getting this grant is a really huge deal to take some burden off the taxpayers. So I hope everyone will support it.
Thank you, Councilman.
Call the question.
Questions been called.
Councilman Scarnati?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Patrick?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absence.
On to resolution 1956. Councilman Pastor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, I'd like to ask for unanimous consideration of resolution 19-56.
Second.
This is a resolution authorizing the mayor to submit a grant application to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Climate Smart Communities Grant Program for the 6th Ward Sanitary Sewer Interceptor Project.
Questions or comments on this?
No. Call the question?
Again, Mr. President, just like the previous bill, it's up to $1.5 million for the grant.
Right. Okay.
Councilman Scarnati?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Patrick?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absence.
On to introductory resolution 1957, considering finance. Councilman Pastor.
Thank you, Mr. President. This, again, we'll ask for unanimous consideration for resolution 19-57.
Second.
This is a resolution pursuant to the code of the City of Binghamton, section 203-2, point G, authorizing removal of the garage at 251 Main Street at an estimated cost of $22,000 to be recovered from the owner.
Comments or questions on this one, Councilman Taylor?
I think I should direct this to the clerk. It seems like the first line, it says Front Street instead of Main Street. I don't know if we need to officially correct that before we vote.
Yes, we should correct that according to.
Yeah. So I'll first make a motion to amend resolution 1957, the first line, which states, whereas on or about May 7th, 2019, an accessory structure garage at 251 Front Street to 251 Main Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And do we need to reread this again?
Wasn't it
As
title?
yeah, just as amended.
Okay, as amended.
Call the question on the resolution.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
No, so.
Councilman Scarnati?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross? Aye. Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Patrick?
Aye.
Councilman Mazza?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absence.
I'm going to give you credit.
Thank you.
On to resolution 1958, that would be considered in the parks. Councilman Scully.
Thank you, Mr. President. Stand and ask for you. I sit and ask for unanimous resolution for introductory resolution R19-58.
Yes,
Resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Woodland Planning and Design for schematic landscape architecture design and project management services for the Columbus Park Improvement Project in an amount not to exceed $25,550. These are for the prospective upgrades at Columbus Park, and hope everyone will support it.
Councilman Taylor.
We've had a lot of discussions about playgrounds and park upgrades in the 4th District. This is an exciting project. Years ago, we had the entirely new splash pad area brought into this park. And now to take an area which is completely asphalt and some area in addition to that in the park and try and reimagine it, redevelop it, hopefully with some great community input. It's a great project. And I think we've all, during our time on council, come to see what Columbus Park means to the surrounding community, what the park means to folks living on Susquehanna Street and Carroll Street, and what it means to the kids. So this is one of those things where it just seems like a no-brainer for the city to be investing some time and money into the development of this fantastic community park.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, one other comment to piggyback on Councilman Taylor's. This particular planning stage is looking for something that might be different than what we have in the city altogether. Some kind of maybe adventure type park or whatever. Something that might draw not only from the particular area that surrounds Columbus Park, but from regionally or from the rest of the city anyway. So it's an exciting project.
Thank you, Councilman Ferris. Any other comments?
All questions?
Nicole.
Councilman Scarney?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross?
Aye.
Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Papster?
Aye.
Councilman Lasso?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absence.
On to Resolution 1959, that would be considered planning. Councilman Papster, please. Again, for the last time.
Thank you. I'd like to ask for unanimous approval of our Resolution 19-59.
Second.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to amend the contract with Family Enrichment Network for homeless prevention.
Questions or comments on this?
Call the question.
Questions, Nicole.
Councilman Scarney?
Aye.
Councilman Livingston?
Aye.
Councilwoman Cross?
Aye.
Councilman Taylor?
Aye.
Councilman Papster?
Aye.
Councilman Lasso?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 absence.
On communications from council members, first, Councilman Papster. Since you haven't spoken.
No comment.
No comment tonight? Okay. On to Councilman, again, he's not here, so we're going to go to Councilman.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank all of our residents who came down today to speak about some very serious quality of life issues, as well as all of our workers and employees at the sewage treatment plant. It's great to meet with you guys a week and a half ago that it was. So I appreciate the opportunity to get to sit down and talk with you guys, and look forward to the further discussion that's going to be going on in August with both our representation, probably I should say, from the employees at the plant as well as construction. I do want to thank all the First District residents who came out to our town hall last week over at that coffee place. I want to thank them for hosting us as well. Went almost 2 hours. Great turnout. Got a lot of great information. Started working out some moving forward. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Serenity. Councilman Lewis.
Thank you, Mr. President. So I'd like to start. There's on Saturday, July 27th, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Binghamton Urban Farm at 16 Tudor Street. There will be an Urban Farm block party. There will be family-friendly music and activities, and a whole set of activities designed, or rather to engage the public in helping to design the new 1.75 acre farm. So that should be pretty exciting. Also, this week we had a couple of sober reminders of how dangerous the work our DPW folks do is. There was chlorine gas sort of chemistry experiment that happened just haphazardly in a dump truck on the west side, not a dump truck, sorry, garbage truck on the west side. And a DPW worker was struck by a car on the north side. Seems like everyone is covering, but you know, it's just a reminder that people who are out there every day are doing some work that is oftentimes dangerous. Also, I want to address a few of the things that have been said over the last couple of months. First is this notion that I've been acting impulsively and on inaccurate information, and that I've been somehow misleading the public regarding the ongoing construction at the sewage treatment plant. Now, since taking office in January, I've attended the vast majority of the sewage board meetings, even though I'm not the city council liaison to the sewage board. I've communicated regularly with members of the board, staff, and management to learn everything that I can about the status of our construction project while we make moves towards privatization. I've relied on information from our local experts on the plant and confirmed details of what they've shared with me through conversations with local experts in the construction trades. I've opted to share only a small fraction of what I've learned with the public because I understand how complex the issues surrounding the situation are, and because I want to include the public in this process and provide them with the most accurate and timely information possible. I've often lamented that I'm hindered in my ability to talk with everyone involved in this project because of the glaring conflicts of interest apparent in having two of our bidders are also involved in the construction project. I understand that some of my colleagues don't share my concerns over these conflicts of interest. I hope that the fact that Jerry Nystrom, when he spoke openly about our bidding process on the city council's tour of the plant last week, serves as an indication that there's not as clear a separation between the Jacobs Engineering that is bidding this privatization contract and the Jacobs Engineering that is responsible for construction oversight. I welcome any and all responses to my email sent 2 weeks ago about these conflicts of interest, and for a formal declaration to be made by this body and by the Board of Trustees of Johnson City on this matter. I also wanted to say that while my colleagues seem inclined to believe what Jerry Nystrom of Jacobs is saying on his face, I don't share their implicit trust in this company or their representative, Jerry Nystrom. Setting aside for now the fact that this project is over a year past due and incurring $15,000 in monthly fines from the DEC, I'll direct your attention to a recent letter that I put in everybody's mailbox tonight, sent by the DEC in response to a consent order modification request. And just a side note on process and transparency, I submitted a FOIL request to the New York State DEC on the same day that I submitted a similar request to the city's project manager, Ron Lake. And not only have I already received that response from the DEC, which should come as a surprise to anyone familiar with these kinds of requests from a state agency, but I've yet to hear back from Ron Lake, our project manager. In their response, the DEC referenced several omissions and inaccuracies in the compliance table sent by Jerry Nystrom. And if you take a look at that compliance table, you'll see also that the due date for completion is no longer the August of this year that we had heard at a previous work session, but is now April of next year. The DEC ended their response by stating that further violations are subject to penalties of up to $37,500 per violation per day. Now, for those who are doing the math in their heads right now, that's $1.125 million per violation per month. Now, I'm sure that Jerry has an excuse for all of this. And for those who give him the benefit of the doubt, those excuses will sound reasonable. But the charge of this body, of this city council, is to provide fiscal oversight of City Hall. And as the lead agency on the construction project at the sewage treatment plant, that includes holding Jerry Nystrom and Jacobs Engineering accountable to deliver to the ratepayers a quality product in a timely manner. This project is currently perched on a razor's edge, and the patience that the public and the DEC have afforded us is wearing thin. I do take heart by the fact that my colleagues have finally, after providing Jerry Nystrom with an exclusive forum in our past 2 work sessions, have agreed to letting our local professionals respond to his claims. I'm still concerned, though, that we're allowing this body to become distracted from the most pressing conversations about sewage treatment plants, oversight and accountability in this construction process, and the secretive nature of this move to privatize the management of our plant despite the conflicts of interest present and before construction is complete. Now, I understand that we're living through strange political times where members of different parties are inclined to believe all sorts of things about the intentions of members of the opposition. And I know that me just saying it right now, it won't necessarily convince anyone who's already made up their mind. But my intention here is to make sure that the best decisions are made on behalf of the residents of this valley. And even if you can't believe me when I say that, I'll challenge you to ask some simple questions. If Jerry Nystrom is as competent and credible as he would have us believe, then why does he fail to deliver this construction project as promised? And why does he transmit formal communications to the DEC containing such omissions and inaccuracies? If this privatization plan has any great merit, why is it shrouded in such secrecy? Why are its proponents not making a public case on the merits of the endeavor? And why was the City Council and Board of Trustees not provided with the hard data that backs this assertion that privatization is the best path forward? If one of these bids goes out to contract, do you think that one of these gigantic companies is going to dispatch their A-team to Binghamton? Do you think that they have their A-team building our plant for us right now? The best team that we've got is the team that we pay a fair wage, and the one that lives in our community, that fishes in our streams, that boats in our rivers. It's the team that we've already got. If you take these questions seriously, maybe you'll see that skepticism in this situation is not born out of some rank partisanship, but from a sincere desire to see the best outcomes for the ratepayers. Thank you.
I left copies of the consent order modification letter and the DEC's response, and I'm still waiting. I heard that from our board president that there's a response to the DEC response that was sent out, and I'm still waiting for the FOIL or the Laundry to respond so that I can continue that chain of communication. I've also asked the DEC if they could include the City Council and Board of Trustees as owners, as representatives of the owners of this facility on the communications that are normally just going to the mayors and to the councils and to the, or rather, the attorneys and other folks that are just sort of standard fare.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Cross.
Well, I just want to say that proof is in the pudding, and you guys always have proof that you definitely worth the value that you are. Okay. And that is one thing that I've already told you, that I got your backs. But personally, I don't like seeing mudslinging. You know, he said, she said all the time. Okay, you guys are excellent. And all of us support you. We're worried. My one issue is for one person, and that's the head manager. Whether it's private or public, I don't care as long as we get a better manager. But if any of you guys are at risk, then I will fight for you. I've already told you that, and I'll continue to keep fighting for you. Just want you guys to know that, and I'll keep telling you guys that. For John Solak that came in, he said a lot about legislation. We can't legislate everything, and we shouldn't be legislating everything. There are things that we should be changing in our community. I know a lot of us do things off the clock to help our communities, both as city council members and as residents. You know, I myself, I have 2 nonprofits, lead several meetings for the community. We've changed things in our community. Change comes one heart at a time and not through legislation, because we cannot legislate people's emotions. We cannot legislate feelings. We need to work together to make our communities better. And with that, that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Councilwoman. On to Councilman Campbell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for coming to speak tonight about the sewage treatment plant. I think more folks spoke than ever. I think that we had a good amount of new faces speak tonight. You know, I know that public speaking isn't your main profession as it is some of ours. So it shows your passion and your dedication to not just getting your side of the story, but possibly the complete and utter truth out there, because you're worried. It worries me too, just because we all know history, we all know the warnings that were not heard and that were not listened to in years past about construction issues at the plant, about devastating issues that, could have ended up in loss of life. So now we've got a situation where we are years behind on a construction project where it seems like certain folks have already backed a particular horse. And once you're so many years into a project and so publicly supportive of certain things, it makes me worried that certain folks will not heed the warnings that you're giving us because they are worried about political ramifications. It worries me that we may have a project manager that is too worried about making sure that it seems like they did a good job, then possibly admitting that maybe they got some stuff wrong along the way. I'm worried that we're gonna finish this project at some point. The date is getting pushed back again, surprise, and the project manager is gonna walk around with their checkboard and their punch list, as was described on Monday, and any glaring issues that would be in your face will have been cosmetically adjusted the day before this punch list is made, and we're not going to have a bunch of issues brought to light. And really the only way that we can accept this construction as complete and know that it is fully complete and fully worth almost $300 million at this point is if we listen to the wastewater workers that are there every single day, actually working with this equipment, actually being trained on it, and actually seeing it in action every single day. Not just when, we happen to be checking stuff on a punch list. Not just when we are going on a tour. I don't want to doubt the expertise in engineering that Jacob or anyone else brings to the table. I am not trying to, for a moment, indicate that there is any sort of malicious mischaracterizations going on. What I'm just trying to say is that their priority at this point is just making sure that they make it clear that they did a good job. And I'm worried that we are putting the concerns of our people to the side to make it seem like certain people are doing and did a good job. Let's not make the same mistakes that we've made in the past. Let's put politics aside on this issue and get the construction done right in its final X amount of time. And let's not insult them during this process by bringing up these concepts of privatizing them, possibly having them lose their benefits or even worse, their jobs, before we even have an idea of what running this plant looks like, how much it costs to run, and it's actually complete. And this date doesn't keep getting pushed back, because I am not comfortable with 2 of the 3 people bidding on the privatization of this management, working on the construction of this project, and ultimately probably costing us up to $37,000 or $38,000 a day. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Taylor. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Back in 2011, when the wall collapsed, that was not this administration. Back in 2011, when the wall collapsed, the administration that existed didn't care about you guys because they did nothing about the sewer plant, and they ignored the DEC and ignored them. And we were getting fined without anybody knowing. I blame the last administration. This administration had no choice but to take aim and start fixing this thing. Are we doing the right thing? I hope so. God, do I hope so. Privatization, I'm still hearing everybody. I'm listening to everybody here. I have not even come close to making up my mind. It was not us, we here, that took on the privatization. It was the 2 administrations now. One from Johnson City, one from here. They're the ones that brought this forward, not City Council here, and not Johnson City trustees. So we're here to listen to you, and we are going to listen to you, and thank you for coming. Thank you, ladies, for coming and sharing your story about Base Troy. And we will look into that, and we promise that.
Yeah,
Yes, we will. We will look into that for you. And with that, I'm going to take a motion to adjourn. So,